Welcome to our webinar on Proven CRM Customer Survey. Proven CRM Customer Survey enables users to send survey request forms to customers for completion. This form can be sent based on a predetermined date in the setup within Proven CRM, and that predetermined date has been selected on the job in Proven Jobs. Based on the setup in Proven CRM system, customers can set the survey to go automatically when the date is selected or to be sent manually within the Job Dates tab in Proven Jobs, giving you flexibility on which jobs get sent a survey. In this session, we will cover both options. Now, before we begin the session, I want to review a few housekeeping items. All attendees have been muted for the duration of the session to cut down on background noise. Your videos have also been turned off during the session to avoid any visual distractions. The recording of this session will be available via our PSA Help Library, in addition to our company YouTube channel. Lastly, any questions you may have regarding the content of today's session can be directed to our support team, who will be happy to assist you. Support can be reached at support@canamsys.com. On the agenda today, we will be reviewing customer survey setup and role permissions. We will look at the submissions of surveys. We will then look at the feedback and the Net Promoter Score. And finally, we will be looking at reporting. Now let's take a look at role permissions. To be able to set up surveys in the CRM, navigate to My Company, select Permissions, and then choose the role to add the permissions who requires to be able to set up a survey. The role permissions in here would be View, Update, Insert, and Delete. In Proven Jobs, the role permissions must be granted to be able to select the Manual Send Survey button. Navigate to Settings, and then Roles. Select the role to permission, then select Jobs, Jobs again, and set the checkbox next to Survey, and then Save. When setting up a customer survey in the CRM, one thing you may want to consider is to add an email account in the CRM under My Company in the Integrations section. When you set up an email account, like an info@ or a marketing@ account, when the survey email goes out, it will go out with that domain. If there isn't an email integration set up, then the emails to your customers with the survey will go out from our domain. Now let's move on to the marketing module, where existing surveys are set up, or you can create a new one. So in marketing, you can see a list of existing surveys, or you can create a new one. If you're creating a survey for the first time and the feature has not been turned on, a message will appear indicating you need to contact support to turn the feature on. When you turn this feature on, please note that there is an activation monthly fee of $35 to use this feature. Once everything has been activated, next you're going to want to start your new survey. You're going to enter in the survey title and a description, and then select Save and Next. First place you are going to want to go is to Offices and select the checkbox to the left of your office name. This is required to connect the CRM database to the Proven Jobs database for the survey feature to work. So back in the edit form, we're going to want to enter in our type of contact method type, what type of date that we are sending the survey on. Please note that if we don't use the contact method email type selected here, or we do not put the date selected here inside of our job in Proven Jobs, the surveys will not go out. Next, you want to decide, am I sending my surveys automatically, or do I want to send them out manually, which will give you that flexibility of which jobs you want to send that survey to. And then finally, we want to enter in that final message once the customer has completed the survey, thanking them for their completing. Once all is done, then you would hit Save. So the next form that I want to look at is the Email tab. And this is where you can enter your message when your email goes out to your customer. You can utilize the default message and the fields that we have set up in the default, or you can choose from any of the fields available to customize your own message when the survey is sent to your customer. You simply drag the fields onto the form and they will pull in data from your job. Next, we want to talk about response email. So the response email option, when enabled, will send an email to the person or persons set up in the alert list. The response email will also send an email if there is a bounce back of the email that was sent out. Now let's look at the adding of questions. So when we add a question to our survey, we have a number of options to choose from as to the type of question that's going to be asked. So we have emojis, yes or no drop downs, we've got single line input, rating scale, star rating, and contractor NPS and program NPS. And we'll talk about that in a bit. So we have the ability to add questions. There's your drop down or your select. And you can have them enter in manual text. There's your star rating. And this is the contractor net promoter score. When you're using this question, your customer can rate you as a contractor, or the program NPS score is them rating their carrier. And each form can contain different elements to gather the information from outside sources. You're not limited to a singular type of input. You can choose from any one of these, if not all of them. Now, once your questions have been set up, you can rearrange the order should you wish to by selecting the 6 dots to the left and dragging and dropping. You can also add a points weighting to a question. You can duplicate a question, We can also make a question required, and we can also delete. Now, once you have entered your questions and you want to see how the form is going to look, you can actually go to the Preview tab, where it will show you how this form is going to be presented when the survey goes out. The alert list is used for people that should be responsible for receiving a notification that something is wrong with the job, in that it's missing information, whether it's the type of email you've set up in the survey or the date is missing. So that email will go out to those folks that you enter in here, and that way they can let whoever needs to know that something needs to be modified on the job. To add an alert person, simply hit New Record, and the form will come up for you to enter in their name and their email address, and then save and close. The Source tab inside of Customer Survey will show all of the jobs that have had a survey sent out or is in a status waiting for input from Proven Jobs, meaning we have not yet entered the date on the job that was set up in the survey. So let's take a look at the different statuses. Ready shows that a survey has been put into the queue but cannot send. This could be an issue with the email that is on the file for the job. Sent shows that a survey has been sent to the customer, but it hasn't been responded to and is sitting in a pending state. Sent answered to PJM shows that a survey has been sent to the customer and has been responded to. Opened shows that the survey was opened but was not answered. A manual survey send will have a blue Send Survey button once the criteria is met. In this example, the survey is looking for work email and the actual completion date. Once that criteria has been entered, the Send Survey button will appear. When the Send Survey button is selected, it will change the button from Send Survey to Sending Survey. And then once it's sent, it'll change to a status of Survey Sent. Once we get to the Survey Sent status, a log note will be applied to the job with the topic Survey Sent. When the survey has been completed by the customer, the green Survey Complete will appear, and a note will have been placed on the job indicating it has been completed and updated with the results. Like the manual setup for the survey to send, the criteria needs to be met. In this example, work email is entered and the invoice date is entered, and then a log note is applied automatically to the job. If any criteria are not met, the alert person or persons will be sent an email indicating what is missing. Just like the manual setup, when the survey goes out, it will put a note on the job. Once the survey has been completed, you do have the ability to print your survey. and you will be able to print this off and show whoever needs to see this. And in our example here, you can see that our customer signed their survey. The customer will receive an email with the message set up in the CRM. And when the customer completes the survey, the message that you entered in the final message will appear. When you're in the Source tab on the survey, you can click on a log where the survey shows a status of ready. This message will present, in this example, the job is missing the contact method type set up in this survey. Within the Answer option, when a survey has been answered, the responses can be seen here. The Result tab will show all jobs that have had surveys sent and answered. It will show the job, each question that has been answered and what the answer was. In the drop down, right now it says job number, but you can filter this screen and filter by parent, by company, by office, or even by question. In the Reports tab, what we will see here is an accumulation of all the results of the answered questions for the survey. So as each survey is being answered, this tab will continuously be updated with the results based on your customers' responses to their questions. In the Score tab, the Score tab will display the results in a year period. The results will show in a bar chart format with accumulated results based on customers' satisfactions. The Contractor NPS tab will show what the customers have responded to the questions set out. Net Promoter Score, or NPS, is a market research metric that is based on a single survey question asking respondents to rate the likelihood that they would recommend a company, product, or a service to a friend or colleague. In this dashboard, you have the detractors, which are the surveys that have come back with less than satisfactory ratings. On a scale of 1 out of 10, those would have rated the service from 0 to 6. Then there are the passives. They are satisfied, but just that. Passives are unlikely to promote your services. And then there are the promoters. They are the most satisfied and are more likely to promote or refer your business. The program NPS, if used when setting up a survey, can capture how your customers feel about their carrier or program and their interactions with them. If you recall, on the previous slide, we showed 2 questions for the contractor NPS and the program. The same applies here for the detractors, the passives, and the promoters. Now, the final step of a survey getting set up is to publish the survey. Once you've published it, this survey will now be active within Proven Jobs when those two criterias of the email type selected and the date selected end up on the job, and whether or not it's a manual send or automatic. Should you wish to, you can also delete a survey. If a survey is created, you first have to unpublish the survey to delete it. If you need to make changes to a survey, you do need to unpublish the survey, so that way you can make the changes if so desired. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch our webinar today on customer survey. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. They would be happy to assist you. Thank you.